News as Special Counsel Jack Smith is now under investigation and could possibly be facing jail time. That's right, guys. We've got some breaking news. Donald Trump's getting good news after good news for the last 48 hours, it seems like. If you guys are just now coming into live, all I ask is that you guys take a second, hit the like button for the video. Totally appreciate you guys. And if you could say something, just drop a quick Y or an N. Let me know if you're able to hear me, yes or no. Appreciate you guys. So, yeah, we got breaking news. Jack Smith now under investigation for the Florida classified documents case with Donald Trump. This comes amidst the report that evidence used against former President Donald Trump was actually tampered with. That's right, guys. Yeah, it's all coming out in the wash. Finally, that evidence is in relation to the FBI's raid of Donald Trump's Mar-A-Lago residence in Florida. So Smith and his team, they were forced to admit that there were records that may have been altered or even as far as manipulated. Now, this begs the question, was this a plant? Did they intend to set up the former President Donald Trump? I mean, what's going on? Hey, I see some of you guys coming into the chat right now. What's going on? Cherry Hilton has landed. What is going on? We got Mama Webb in here. This is big news. Tim Deb Howard. What is going on, everyone? All right. This is big news, guys. Huge. Donald Trump could literally be our current president as we speak. Not the 2024 president. I mean, he could be our 2020 president. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about by the end of this video, guys. Thank you. Oh, man, you guys are flooding in here. Awesome. All right, good. I hope you guys are able to hear and see me okay. That's right. Breaking news, guys. Jack Smith is now under investigation. In fact, these new revelations have now prompted House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan to investigate this matter. And Jim Jordan's not happy because prosecutors were caught in a lie when they initially said that the documents returned were in their original intact form as seized. Now, here you have Special Counsel Jack Smith presenting the court with manipulated evidence. This is almost the highest level of mistrial territory that I've ever seen. Not to mention, ask any attorney who, if you have tampered evidence, this is grounds for prison time for the Special Counsel Jack Smith here. These are some tremendous allegations that we're looking at, that Jack Smith is looking at here. I mean, this in and of itself, it opens up so many questions that need to be answered now. And this is exactly in line with Judge Aileen Cannon's decision to indefinitely postpone this case, because there's a lot that needs to go through here. So anyway, I want you guys to take a look or take a listen to what Jim Jordan had to say about this.
What would you call this, Jim Jordan? I'm wondering if the issue of whether or not the evidence has been tainted is now front and center in the case in Florida.
Yeah, the order of the documents seized was changed. That one sentence says it all. Most people would call that tampering with evidence. The physical documents didn't match up with the scanned documents. And here's the irony, Sean. This is Jack Smith mishandling the very documents that he's charging President Trump with mishandling. Go figure. I mean, that to me is the ultimate irony here. Not to mention, of course, the double standard. We had Robert Hur 6 weeks ago in front of our committee. Robert Hur said Joe Biden met the elements of the crime. He knowingly disclosed classified information. But he wasn't charged because he says he was a forgetful old man. And we also established motive. Robert Hur said on page 231 of his report, Joe Biden had strong motivations for ignoring classified procedures because he was writing a book for which he got paid $8 million. So he had an $8 million motive. He met the elements, but he doesn't get charged.
Wow.
President Trump does. And then Jack Smith mishandles the very documents. You can't make this stuff up.
You really can't. Let me get your reaction to what's going on.
This is crazy, guys. This is absolutely bonkers. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? The very guy who's charging Donald Trump for the mishandling of classified documents has himself mishandled these classified documents that are being brought to trial as evidence. The ultimate in irony here, egg on his face. This is blown up in Jack Smith's face. It's unreal. It's unreal. And it's funny how all of these cases are crumbling at Donald Trump's feet right now. It's just crazy. But yet the mainstream media makes it seem like, Donald Trump's going down. It's like, man, what are y'all listening to? Like, are y'all watching? Are you guys paying attention to the details of the same trial that we're watching? This is craziness. It's absolutely craziness. But this is not good news for Jack Smith, because much like DA Fannie Willis and AG Letitia James and DA Alvin Bragg, he is also trying to get the case sped up before the 2024 presidential elections. So this really puts a stop sign, big old huge stop sign right in front of this case, because Judge Aileen Cannon, she could possibly move the trial date further and further, way beyond what he wants, right? But right now we're looking at an indefinite date. So Donald Trump feels like this is grounds for Jack Smith to be arrested. What do you guys think? This is a criminal trial here that Donald Trump is on for the mishandling of classified documents. So when you've tampered with the evidence and you use that evidence to try to send someone else to jail, how do you not put yourself at risk of being sent to jail yourself now that this truth has come out? Please, somebody let me know. Quick shout out and thank you to Enoch was the first prophet. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Enoch says, Jack Smith looks as though he has aged 10 years since he took this case on about a year ago. I guess that's what's happened to you. I guess that's what happens when you fail the deep state. Yeah. Jack Smith looks like Obama did 4 years after he took office, but somehow Jack Smith managed to age that fast in about a year. Yeah, he does look a lot older. But this is what we're faced with, guys. This is pure. This is beyond election interference. You're trying to put someone in jail for something that didn't even happen. Have these people not taken an oath? I mean, anyway. So Donald Trump, he feels like this is easily grounds for Jack Smith to be arrested. And I don't think a lot of people would disagree with Trump on that one. And in a post on Truth Social, the former president, he was utterly stunned and ultimately called out Jack Smith for their vote, or for his quote unquote blatant evidence tampering. Can you believe this, guys? He said that Jack Smith and his team mishandled the very boxes that they used as evidence to bring forth this fake case. He concluded that the entire witch hunt should be dropped and for the end of the boxes hoaxes to just completely go away. Wow. So, it really makes you wonder if Jack Smith will ultimately be prosecuted soon. Because, a lot of experts say that this is not going to happen. Jack Smith's not going to jail. Jack Smith's not going to get prosecuted. Why? Well, it's not going to happen while we have the White House that we have right now. All right. Not to mention the DOJ, the Department of Justice. So I think that if Jack Smith ends up getting prosecuted for this would only happen after Donald Trump gets back in the White House. I almost don't see any other way for that to happen. If Trump is right about the Biden administration being behind this political witch hunt here, where all of these different cases have been opened up just to attack him, to stop him from running, or to block him from winning, there's no chance that they're gonna burn their own people, because these are Biden's people. These are Biden's people. They're not gonna send these guys out to try to take down Donald Trump. have them fail miserably, and then arrest them. I don't see that happening. But stranger things have happened. So this admission from Jack Smith's team, it really comes as very good news for the former president, right? And it's not the only good news that he's gotten recently. But I did want to hear a little bit more from Sean Hannity and Jim Jordan on this one here.
In the court, you have the judge threatening to put President Trump in jail. You have clearly a judge in this case, according to my reading of the law, that should have recused himself. You have allegations, serious ones, of the family being involved in compromise and possibly benefiting from the outcome of this trial. Then you have the third highest ranking official at the Department of Justice. This is Merrick Garland's Department of Justice. Number 3, pretty prestigious position. A guy that we now know was raising money, political donations with the DNC. And this guy is now leaves that big important job to go work and run this case for Alvin Bragg in New York City. Tell me how that's not a conflict of interest.
All these big wigs getting called out. And think about it. If you're the CEO of a company, imagine you're like the CEO of McDonald's or something like that. This would be the equivalent of Merrick Garland being the CEO of McDonald's and downgrading himself from the CEO to work to being the head fry guy here. Because this is essentially what has happened. He has gone from his position to work with DA Alvin Bragg to take down Donald Trump. Who goes from a CEO position to being, head of French fries? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But apparently Merrick Garland does.
Yeah, it definitely is. You got a partisan Democrat prosecuting the case. You got a partisan judge overseeing the case. The partisan judge's daughter worked for Adam Schiff. She's obviously partisan. And then, of course, there's a gag order on the former president of the United States, the guy I believe is going to be the next president of the United States. There's a gag order on him, but Michael Cohen, the convicted perjurer, the guy who lied 6 times in front of Congress when he came and testified, he's allowed to say whatever he wants. He's allowed to go on TikTok and social media and spout off whatever he wants, and that's their star witness. The country is laughing at this case, and it's why President Trump's numbers, I think in the latest Rasmussen poll, he's up like 10% in the national poll. That's because the country sees through it all. They see through what Jack Smith is doing. They see through what Alvin Bragg is doing. And they've a long time ago seen through what Fani Willis is doing in Georgia.
How many of you guys think Jim Jordan should be Donald Trump's VP? Or at least strongly consider Jim Jordan as a vice presidential candidate for Donald Trump? Let me know, guys.
The real conspiracy. Jack Smith, Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis looking to conspire to impact the 2024 presidential election.
Let me ask.
Yeah, so this is big. Oh wow, Keenan Ripon says he does. All right. Let's see. XYZ99 says I want Donald Trump to pick Ben Carson as the VP. Okay. Jim Jordan would be awesome. Thank you, Brenda Jackson. It's all coming out in the wash, folks.
Ask you, do you believe, how long will it take your committee to get answers on this new part of your investigation, which is the weaponization of the DOJ under Joe Biden? And now the special counsel. And by the way, is the special counsel even constitutionally allowed to have that job? Clarence Thomas brought that up in oral arguments. Yeah, there's debate about that, but we went directly. We're demanding the Office of Professional Responsibility give us answers, not only about Jack Smith and this discrepancy in the physical documents and the scanned documents, those not matching up, but also the guy who works for him, this Jay Bratt, who pressured one of the other defendants in this case, pressured Mr. Naughta's attorney about, we thought you were interested in a judge position while they're meeting to talk about the classified documents case. You can't do that. So we want to know answers to that question as well. This Jay Bratt, who works for Jack Smith's team.
Wow. So anyway, guys, this admission from Jack Smith's team, it comes as very good news for Donald Trump. And it's not the only good news that he's gotten recently. Matter of fact, let's talk about the hush money trial that's not going so well for Mr. DA Alvin Bragg at the moment, right? The prosecution thought that it would be a very good idea to bring Stormy Daniels to the stand. But as it turns out, this may have been a very, very bad decision. In fact, Stormy Daniels said that she and Trump had a secret affair for like 18 years ago. And this is obviously an affair that Donald Trump has denied. But oddly enough, it was also denied by Stormy Daniels in writing. She confirmed the affair did not exist in writing. However, she wanted $130,000 from Donald Trump when he ran for president. Now, the idea was that Donald Trump, the idea was that Stormy Daniels would expose this alleged affair out to the public, even if she wasn't paid, or rather, if she wasn't paid. So, in other words, this payment was to keep her lips sealed. Now, some legal experts are looking at this and they're saying, hey, couldn't this be classified as being some form of extortion? Although, funny enough, Stormy Daniels, she's not the one on trial here. Even though some legal experts are looking at what she did to Donald Trump as possibly being extortion. And that wouldn't be much of a stretch here. Pay me to not release something. I mean, this is blackmail, is it not? So the problem with Stormy Daniels and her narratives on the stand is that she's very inconsistent. So I don't know if she's lying. I don't know if we have another Michael Cohen here or what. Maybe she's forgetting some details, temporary amnesia. I don't quite know exactly what's going on with Stormy Daniels here, but she swore to the jury that she didn't care about the money. However, she sold the story to Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, for a whole lot of cash. But she says she don't care about the money. So which is it? You can't have both here. So, all with the promise that she would stay silent about it. Hey, give me the cash. I won't say anything. Mum's the word, right? Anyway, so she also threw out any kind of shred of credibility that she had left when she admitted that she told her manager to get the story out about Trump so that they could make some money. Really, guys? But it's not about the money, though. It's not about the money. Crap. So many analysts at this point are pretty much saying like, hey, instead of getting the former president in trouble, they've instead boosted his image as people are realizing that he's the one that's getting taken advantage of by these people. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Donald Trump is being taken advantage of by the justice system, the different DAs, district attorneys, Stormy Daniels, and a whole host of other people? Do you guys think that Donald Trump himself is the one being taken advantage of at this point? But just let me know. But here's where things really start taking off here. Do you guys remember when Donald Trump said that the election was stolen? Let me know if y'all remember that. And how the mainstream media and Democratic lawmakers were blasting him for saying such a thing? Well, as it turns out, he may have had a point. So the state election board just reprimanded Fulton County and ordered an independent election monitor recently. Why did they do that? This is rather odd. And it's been found that the Fulton County, now keep in mind, it's been found that Fulton County is the same county under District Attorney Fani Willis, and that they likely scanned about 3,000 ballots twice during the recount of the 2020 presidential election. And it's also come out that they committed around 140 violations of election rules and election laws during that time. Now you tell me what's going on. What's really going on? Who's the real president at this point, right? Really, you know what I mean? The investigation also showed that there's missing ballot images. In total, they're saying that there's like 380,761 ballots from Election Day that did not have ballot images. So this means that the hand count and the electric recount, they were illegal because they can't find more than 300,000 ballot images. So what happened to all the images? Or to put it frankly, did they ever even exist? Which has now led a lot of political analysts to conclude that we may actually have the wrong person in the White House today. This is wild, guys. This is wild. Is this still America? Like, what has happened to our country? Like, I've never gotten to a point where I've never ever thought that. I mean, maybe I'm just naive, but I never ever thought that, the election could possibly be faked. I guess that is some degree of naivety. Anyway, but yeah. So there's now a high possibility that Trump is our actual president. Wouldn't that be crazy? Can you guys believe that? I guess it is believable. But with all of these different irregularities happening back in 2020, it's now impossible to figure out just who won. But the real question still remains: was this election stolen? Because you and I know for a fact that Wisconsin also has its own problems when it comes to the 2020 presidential election. Like, they're having problems right now. So it's like a lot of these rocks in the backyard, these big rocks in the backyard are getting picked up and lifted, and they're finding out all the bugs and dirty secrets that have been, kind of brushed under the rug for the last 3.5 years. And so now here we are, years deep into Joe Biden's term. I guess there's probably no sense in trying to reverse the presidency at this point, although it does vindicate a lot of people, a lot of critics, a lot of you guys who called him out that, this thing was stolen back in 2020. How many of you guys called it back in 2020 that this whole thing was stolen? Now, speaking of the president, he's now at odds with Israel. We're talking about President Joe Biden. So he's now at odds with Israel because of a rumored Rafah assault. Now, for those who don't know, Rafah is a city in Gaza that Israel is planning to attack. And the Biden administration has recently called on Israel and its leadership to put forth a ceasefire deal. Now, this is something that Israel has basically ignored. They're like, I hear what you're saying, but we're going to keep shooting over here. We're going to keep blowing stuff up. Because of this, the United States has suddenly halted a large shipment of offensive weapons to Israel. Now, this has led to a government official from Israel sounding off and claiming that there is deep frustration within the ranks over this decision. So, yeah. Now get this, guys. The shipment that the White House stopped, it was going to include 1,800 2,000-pound bombs and 1,700 500-pound bombs. Now, Israel, they're still stacked with weapons, so it's unlikely that not sending these bombs would have held off an offensive. Yeah, they still got enough inventory, is what I'm saying. So by us not sending more, it's not stopping anything. Charlie Wolf King Reed, thank you so much, my brother, for the $5 super chat. So Charlie Wolf King Reed says, yes, it was stolen. Charlie is clearly talking about the election of 2020. But let me know, guys, what do y'all think? Do you think it was stolen? Let me know. God bless you, my friend. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. So this is a message. This is sending a message to Israel that the United States is now moving toward pauses within this war. And I think this is kind of interesting that we're just four and a half, maybe 5 months away from this 2020 presidential election. And we may actually start seeing some pauses in this war. Is this because Biden is trying to appease some of the voters? Is this because the Biden administration feels like, okay, Donald Trump's probably not going to support this war going forward. Let's just go ahead and stop some spending now. Why do you think that there may be a pause coming from the United States toward, possibly supporting Israel going forward? I'd love to hear from you guys. Don Christensen, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. God bless you. Don Christensen says, it's almost hard to wrap my head around all of this. The corruption, it runs so deep. Makes me nervous for the upcoming election, not to mention the no ID voting with 20 plus million illegal immigrants. Oh my God. Yeah. You know what? That's a very good point, Don. Like, we've always had illegal immigrants in our country, but we've never had this many, or at least it's never been publicized, the figures that we're hearing nowadays. So it's like, okay, you know how they say history doesn't quite repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Are we going to see another election incident that ends up requiring significant future investigation? That's my question. Because it sure is lining up to be quite interesting with all of these newcomers, as they say, that could very well vote with no ID, since there's so many, no ID voting facilities. They're not checking IDs. They're not checking signatures on. So it's going to be interesting. That's all I can say. It's going to be very interesting. So, yeah. And I got to remind you guys, just going back to United States and Israel, the House, the Senate, and the Biden administration, they all agreed to send billions of dollars to Israel. Now, it's something that we just can't forget because they've let all of this happen. Billions of dollars. This is all inside of that $95 billion foreign aid package that recently got passed. So what do you guys think about all this supposed friction between our countries? Let me know, guys. Let me see what you guys are saying in the comments. What's going on? Annihilated, but coming back. Hi from Sierra Nevadas. Let me see. John Gardner says U.S. military poll watchers. Let's see. Enoch was the first prophet, says Ron. There was another super chat. Did I miss it? Did I not? No, I think I got it. Don Christensen. Charlie Wolf King Reed. All right, we got him. Did we miss anybody? I don't think we missed anyone. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Yeah, I think we got everyone. So yeah, I think I covered all of you guys, but let me see. Keep focused. Our border is open. Thank you, Anne. Renee Thomas says, hello, what all I miss? Oh man, guys. Hey, if you haven't already, do your boy a favor. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, it just lets YouTube know, hey, this is a good video. Please share it out. I do want to get the truth out to more folks. And I just can't thank you guys enough for supporting the channel, all your subscriptions, all the new folks who have hit the join button and are supporting the channel in that way, just tuning in every day. And just saying hello or hitting the like button. It all, I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out my previous video. I'll try to leave a link somewhere here, there, somewhere. Check out that previous video and I'll see you guys on